we unfortunately will turn some investors away. That's okay. Unfortunately, we'll tell people no when they ask for something, and that hurts their feelings or they're used to getting their own way. I'm sorry about that. You'll have to find another sandbox to play in. But I can assure you, the sandbox you go play in is really a litter box that's been covered up. Being in the investment community and investment industry for 41 years, there's a lot of words and adjectives that are used quite frequently. The problem is the person or the people that use the adjectives are meaning it in a different way than maybe the person who receives the words anticipates what they really mean. Let's take a word that can be either overly used or abused, and the word is transparency. So at our company, we look at the word as transparency, meaning the following. We're not afraid to tell you how we run our business. We're not afraid to tell you why we're in business and what our goals and plans are. We're not afraid to share with you the backdrop to why we are buying assets the way we do it, why we believe one asset is in a better position than another. We want to give you the details that tell you what makes the choice of a particular asset is the right choice or the choice that we've made as a company. I think there's a misinterpretation by maybe investors on the outside when they think of the word transparency. What they think it means in many cases is you're going to tell me the recipe to your favorite cake. You're going to tell me the family recipe that's been in your family for 200 years and what those ingredients are and what those parts are and how that puzzle works. And that's not transparency. See, that's called trade secrets. That's called methodology. That's called business disclosure. The way we look at it is that we want to give you the information you need as a passive investor to maybe make successful investments in what we do. But the transparency stops when it comes to things that are going to be revealed that are really not necessary for you to make an investment decision. Now, we're faced with this quite a bit. We have really smart investors that are engineers, geologists, petroleum engineers, geophysicists. We have lawyers, we have bankers, we have cybersecurity individuals. And they're normally naturally very inquisitive and they want as much information as they can get. The problem is, in one or two cases, in my view, they're either asking questions they really don't know what to do with the answers, but they've gone out and asked somebody, hey, you're involved in this industry, you're involved in something similar to that. What questions should I ask Eckard to find out if they are being truthful, they're knowledgeable, they're competent? What should I ask? So depending on who the source comes from, it can be anything from super technical questions, geological questions, geophysical questions, operational questions. And we look at that and say, they're great questions. We're not going to answer most of them, because those questions really don't do any good in that you don't know how to interpret, and you won't be able to interpret what they mean, but you may have to go to an outside third party to figure out if those answers correlate with some kind of industry standard. But see, that doesn't work for us because we have a proprietary business, and our business is made up of ways we do business. We have our own team of geologists, geophysicists, engineers, and landmen. We've constructed a business model and a business plan here at Eckard Enterprises that is unique to ourselves, is very confidential in the way, in the kind of the recipe that we've created. And we want to share with you, this is a great cake. It's made from a great recipe, from great ingredients. And we're going to tell you everything we know about the cake. But we're not going to tell you where we got that special cinnamon sauce. We're not going to tell you how we created that special flour. We're not going to tell you the way we put the ingredients in and the order that we put it in, because it really doesn't make any difference. Either you want to slice a cake or you don't. And we run into this in our business because we do have a lot of investors out there that are very smart. There's a lot of access to data online, ChatGPT, internet. And so everyone is digging deeper and deeper, trying to figure out how they can better understand an industry, or better yet, how they might catch somebody who's pretending to be an expert at an asset or a business or a particular sector, and really they're not. We respect that. But from a transparency perspective, we respect the fact that we've been doing this for 41 years. We respect the fact that we have our own in-house experts. And we might look at 40, 50, 100 different opportunities before, with our own team and all the due diligence in all those different assets that we preview, we've determined that the one asset that we're offering to our investors and our partners is the asset that has fit the criteria that we've set for it. For us to explain that criteria means that we have to give you our secret sauce, and we're not willing to do that. So I would say out of our 3,000 plus accredited partners, 99.9% understand that, respect that, and appreciate it. And they want all the data that they believe is necessary to make a good investment decision. I found, my team has found, our senior management has found that you always have that 1% who says, but I want to know this detail and the decline on every well around the well you're planning on drilling. And I want to know X, Y, and Z. And we say, well, we appreciate the possibility you want to know that, but we're not going to go to the effort, and we're not going to go to the files that we have, and we're not going to take up our engineers' time and our geologists' time to tell you something that really has zero value in your determining whether or not you should make the investment. Now, I got to tell you, I've been in oil and gas since 1985. I've managed thousands of millionaires' accounts for 41 years. I've got billionaires, people worth 100, 300, 500 million dollars. I got super sophisticated partners for over 4 decades. And I've learned one thing. I do my job really well, and my company does its job really, really well. And those investors who are truly accredited, truly sophisticated, and truly want to find a leader and an expert in a particular asset class, they look at us and say, I'm going to judge the next investment because Eckard's put his name on it, not because I think I'm going to outsmart them, not because I need to know the secret sauce. I'm going to look at Eckard and its 40 years of being in business and its track record and what it does and how it is as a company. And I'm going to trust that if Troy Eckard and his management team has decided to put a product out with its name on it and provides me the details that any normal investor would like, then I've got to make a simple decision. I like, by preponderance of the evaluation, this investment and with Eckard Enterprises makes sense or it doesn't. Now, I know I offend some people when I tell them you're not getting that information. Or I tell them, you should go invest with somebody else. And here's why I say it that way. We want to invite you to join us in participating in what we do. We want to give you the information necessary for any prudent investor to make a decision, yes or no. We want to give you what we believe anybody, any reasonable person says is more than they would ever get from anybody else in the energy space. We would say that if there was a bar to measure Eckard against every other oil and gas energy sponsor in the United States, our transparency is here and the next one's down here. So we unfortunately will turn some investors away. That's okay. Unfortunately, we'll tell people no when they ask for something and that hurts their feelings or they're used to getting their own way. I'm sorry about that. You'll have to find another sandbox to play in. But I can assure you, the sandbox you go play in is really a litter box that's been covered up. So you got to remember the reason why we are the company we are and we built the reputation we built and we do the things we do and the success that we've had for our partners and for all of our investors is because we work night and day on making sure everything we do is as perfect and as industry standard as we can. And we want you to invest with us. We want you to be our partner. But we want to invite you and not force you. And on the same token, we want to have the right to say no thank you to partners who just insist they're the smartest person in the room. Because I'm going to say, you are the smartest person in the room. You just need to find another room because you don't fit Eckard Enterprises. Thanks for listening.